Right. So it has been brought to my attention that a lot of people in game that are just starting out don't quite understand the warband mechanic. Whether it's defeating the heliquary bosses or understanding just how warband in general works. So you have your room assignments, room management, and as you do defend of Purge the Depths, you can come through and you can find these relics that drop that make it to where you can select something you want. So you have attacker, you have block chance, and overall, these things, some things stack, like your whites and blues stack, but your yellows don't stack. So these, if you had multiple of these in a run, it tells you purge the depths to find more remnants. So all these remnants that you find, you can either do a fast clear where you run through and you're just trying to find the green remnant to drop to do the boss so you can max out your weekly points, because you can do 1,500 points for your heliquaries, all of this for your tableau, getting your warband activity points. You need to have 1,000 points of warband activity to at least, when you start a warband, to have all these current bonuses be in effect. So if you do your raids Mondays and Thursdays when they reset, you need to be doing them twice a week. You will earn your 1,000 points minimum, which you can get a maximum of 1,500 points. So doing your endless and doing your Purge the Depths, the more players you have run with you in your warband, the more accumulative points of warband activity you will get after completing each one of these runs. Because if you were to go inside your warband right now, go inside your castle, and you go, I want to go do a Purge the Depths. You end up running all the way to this back room over here, and you come through, Purge the Depths. It tells you you're going to earn some remnants. By you joining, it tells you how many points you're going to get, and as people join, this number will increase. It eventually, once you get over a certain point, does drop in the accumulative points that you collect each run. So doing it one at a time, running through, you can kill all the mobs if you wanted to, just so you can gain the XP. It is just going to take a lot more time. Typically you can do fast runs of 2 minutes to 3 minutes or less if you're just solely looking out for the green remnant. But if you are trying to get remnants, here's a list of when you go through and you run through and do fast runs. Here, right here, was a fast run where they only got a couple, but clearing the whole thing, you can get up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in total. So all these remnants, you can see there's 3, 6, 9 remnants. Shorter runs, but all of these, only certain ones will stack on top of each other. And that's what people don't realize, that if they get multiples of certain things like hammer to hammer, these for the shield absorbs will not stack on each other. That keeping this one is perfectly fine because you have all these different ones on here versus having multiple of your supports. You have your survivor, you have your attack protector, all of that. That each one of these has to drop for a specific group if you wanted to use. Like, see, here's a block protector which increases your size, but overall it is on attacker, showing these aren't stacking with each other, so whichever one they end up getting and selecting, that's what this set becomes. And you can only have 20 remnant sets. So when they get full, you have to either yourself as the leader come through and physically go, yep, delete, yep, let's delete this one. And you delete all these small ones because you want to, if you're trying to mid-max and have an effective warband, you want to have 9 remnants for each of the support builds, the protector, the attacker, survivor, any of those that you actually physically want. You want to have full remnants. You don't want to just have these 2 things that are on here and running around having all of this full and nobody updating it. Make sure your warband leader is coming through and coming through and optimizing what they want. And then also on the other side of this warband, if let's say you get bored of running Purge the Depths, you want to come in here and you want to just do endless mode because you want to see how long you can do that. 4 members of a warband are required for a leaderboard ranking. If you don't care about the leaderboards and you just want to have some fun, you can do that as well, and it will give you warband activity. Normal mode, your warband leader has to set a day for when they want to do it. We have ours set, and when it gets close, if we're not wanting to do it that day, he changes it. Or if it's set for a couple days out, he can change it to a few minutes out for the same day we're on, so we can do this as a group. And this is the only way, doing your normal mode, doing an endless mode, and doing Purge the Depths is the only way you can get ancestral gear, because right now everything that drops in game is either normal or cursed, and cursed definitely has a higher probability to drop. That if you're trying to run an ancestral property, so selecting one of these pieces of gear that are active, like doesn't matter these 4, but we have a lot of shield in our group. You would come down here, you'd click you want to equipped, and then you come through and select whichever one you wanted to select. And then after you have selected it, it has it on there. But in order for you to trigger this, you have to have ancestral gear. In order to do that, you have to do endless, you have to do purge, and you have to do raids with your warband. Doing that is the only way you can get this ancestral gear now, at least consistently, and it is a grind to find something that you can wear, that you can use. Like, I ended up getting a weapon that I thought was worthy of keeping. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough for the warband, but I still kept it just in case. But this is what you're looking for, is gear with an invocation. So the invocations are what are going to trigger your ancestral invocation that you selected. So if you don't have that on your gear, you can't trigger those. On top of that, having your tableau leveled up, your heliquary leveled up, this is all increasing your combat rating. So anybody that has low combat rating and is struggling, if you're not in a warband, that is something that is hurting you, because this right here, these bonus stats overall are what effectively are giving you this combat rating. So if you were to come in and put on your highest CR gear, and you're like, oh man, I want to be able to push the next hell level, I need to push the next zone. Oh, but my combat rating's still too low. Check and see if you haven't completed your heliquary. What level is it? Now, mind you, ours, for players that have been playing since launch, even though the tableau came out later, most players that have played since launch are in the 40s, and some were hitting the 50s this weekend. I didn't do warbands for a couple months because I was playing with some friends, and then those friends quit. And it wasn't until I got into a warband with my clan that I actually stuck with one. We all eventually became whales in it, became very effective at defeating the bosses. But that is one way of doing added combat rating to effectively use your warband to the best of your ability. Now, when it comes to you getting those warband chests weekly and you getting all the group runs is all you need if you want this to count as a warband raid, is you need to just have a minimum of 4 people in your warband. Then you can fill with 4 other randoms and it does not matter. Now, if you want to compete for leaderboard status, then you're going to have all 8 members of your warband online so you can actually compete for positioning. But if you don't care, that's fine. And when it comes to the Heliqary gauntlet, the new mode, this does not matter whatsoever. Like, warband wise, you can do it as a warband, or you can do it with a group of friends. That mode is still here in the Heliqary bosses. You just come over here and click here. The big key takeaway right here is you just need this combat rating, 14/4/11. You have that. You can go through and you can make a group of 8 and go through and have fun. It will drop you legendaries. It will drop, if you haven't done it before, it will drop you legendaries. It'll drop you a few pieces of set items that are random, and you can choose to use them. You can choose to crush them. Does not matter. But this is a fun little mode where basically you're doing all of these raid bosses, all 5 of these guys, back to back. So you'll kill one boss, a portal will spawn, then you can go through that, you can wait for your cooldowns to come back, and then go attack the boss. The timer stops each time the boss dies. So, boss dies, you can wait for your timer to reset, go through the portal, then go attack the next boss and try again. You get 5 lives in the Heliqary gauntlet, versus here, you only have 1 revival that you can do yourself, and then you have to have somebody from your team revive you if you die. And if all of you die, you lose. The boss enrages because you didn't beat him within that time limit. He gets almost damn near impossible to defeat. And now with the new updates, each rage event, he does more and more damage till your team is dead. So make sure when it comes to you completing bosses that you have the required combat rating to defeat the boss. And if you're too low, 400 CR is still too low to defeat this boss. The most you can be out is typically about 100 out, and you can still potentially do it if your entire group is at least 100 CR less. Think of it as pushing challenge rifts, and that you want an effective build to help you beat it, and you want survivability, especially if they're over the combat rating that you are. So I hope this Heliqary walkthrough does help. This warband walkthrough does help. If there's more things in depth that you want me to do, if you want to see my lower level account and its Heliqary bosses, its warband that it's a part of, go through and walk through some stuff versus seeing, oh, this is just a 7K account. I can do that. I have that ability. My alt is like level 400. I can come back. I use him for things to help people with lower level. It's completely free to play. I love playing on that account and making videos with that guy as well. So let me know what you think in the description below. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if there's more insight to warbands that you want me to go further in depth with. And let me know anything you want me to continue to make videos on. I'm trying to help make these beginner tutorial guides because a lot of people on their left side will have defeat this boss with a warband and never do it, or they just can't understand that, oh, I'm in this hell level, it said I just needed this required CR to be in this hell level, but now I'm still dying. Issues like that where they're not looking at their secondaries that tell you the area. There's so many things that I can do to try and help you out to succeed in Diablo Immortal, and I need to know what you want me to build on. So hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the description what you want me to keep making footage of, walkthroughs, anything, and I will do it for you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys liked it. Peace. I'm out.